your physical appearance can hinder you, your inability to earn or to make a sufficient amount of money in order for you to be attractive to women. Just your self-esteem and self-image and how you view yourself as a man. Believe it or not, a lot of men, suffer from low self-esteem. And there is a burden of performance on men that women simply don't have. Okay. And they say that women just have to be and men have to do. They have to perform. Okay. So it's a struggle going all the way back to, junior high school and high school when you were trying to attract that woman that you were interested in, that you thought was attractive, and she kind of looked at you like you was a scrub, you know.
Right.
And and that can kind of, remember the old TLC
Sitting
days?
on the left-hand side
I'm saying,
of your best
all the
friend's
old,
side.
yeah, remember all the 90s songs with the MC Light and the TLC and calling you a scrub and this. Well, with a lot of guys that really got to them, especially like when we were coming up in the 80s and 90s, just about every dude was struggling for the most part. So if you wasn't somebody who stood out and you were driving a nice car, or perhaps you had a lot of money in your pocket, it was often difficult for you to meet women. And my thing is, in the hood, there's three things that people look at, and I'm talking about from the black perspective and how I grew up, as far as men. You either making money, you're a ball player, okay, or you got the looks, okay. And if you didn't have one of those three things, but you weren't an athlete, popular, you didn't have a whole lot of money to take women out on dates, so you just wasn't a really good looking guy that women were attracted to up front. It's always been a struggle. And that
Mm,
that 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 our childhood can really have an impact on who we are as adults.
yes.
Sometimes that sits with people. That's why you see these athletes right now. I'm not going to name names, but you know who's out there
Hmm.
doing everything they can to try to get with women. They're spending money. They're willing to accommodate them in any kind of way just to get with a female. Well, a lot of that has to go back to when they were in high school and maybe a young man. They had a difficult time, attracting women.
Mm.
So a lot of that sticks with them. That self-esteem and self-image can really impact a man.
You know, from a woman's perspective, I even wasn't aware that I think these feelings get underplayed. They get unacknowledged. It brings to mind men suffer in silence
Mm,
with these types of feelings because our society doesn't even acknowledge it, right? Men are not supposed to have these feelings. They're the strong ones, so these types of issues go unrecognized,
mm,
and that's what I think of. And if it does come out, it's viewed as a weakness, that man has a weakness. So low self-esteem, I'm finding that it is out there and in existence with men, and we have to be more um, aware of it.
mhm.